Hey, what's going on? It's Boss Britt, the most lit.
What's up? It's your girl DJ eXeL.
And this is
the No Homo Show.
Where everything we talk about
is homo as
gay, 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 gay. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all know the vibes. Another good episode today.
Yes, and you know what? Make sure you listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Damn, I keep messing that up.
Spit it out, girl.
Yeah, also, all that, outside of all that, make sure y'all party with us at Atlanta Pride.
August 31st, September 4th. Get y'all tickets.
Y'all.
We gonna put the link right here because first of all, the lineup is crazy. We ain't even about to get into it, but just know y'all not gonna want to miss this year because we're coming correct.
Get those flights. We don't care if you fly Spirit.
Girl, we ain't judging you. Frontier,
We
whatever.
not.
As long as you make it there, that's the only thing we care about, okay?
Forever.
I don't care.
They got those $2.99
Yeah, the
passes.
rollover shit for the whole year. Y'all better look into it because y'all don't want to miss out, okay?
We outside.
Yes. But we have a very special guest today. I told her I had to come correct. I got to cross my legs and get on my one shit. You know, I got to get my cue cards ready.
Take it easy
Well,
on me,
please introduce yourself. Let people know who you are and what you do.
Before I even get there, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me because I see y'all work just as much, and I think that y'all are fantastic at what you do. You guys are amazing. But, you know,
Thank you.
my name is Teresa. I'm the little person behind Stud Model Project, and I am excited to be here. I am considered Atlanta, I guess, resident now. And I love it here. It's been good for our business. It's been good for Stud Model Project. But yeah, I'm baby of the world. I'm a baby of the world. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, it's very exciting to have someone who's very influential within the community. So we definitely appreciate you and all that you do.
That's
because
a
we see
huge
you.
title.
I've been seeing Stud Model
Everybody.
Project since before I even knew what it was.
Y'all
I
have
saw the
been
name.
drooling over these stuff.
Yeah, like y'all have heard of the name, so
Yeah.
it's good to introduce the CEO, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, to the
yeah.
world because I didn't even know until like recently who was behind
It
the
was
brand.
done on purpose.
Yeah.
I love my privacy.
Yeah, no, I feel you because
Not
it be
today.
I
They know where
love
to go
my
now,
privacy.
yeah.
But you know what? One thing I found out about this business, I was like, no one can tell your story like you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, no one can really tell the journey like you can. So,
That's true.
And I found that out like recording the pilot for Stud Model Project, a series, because I had hired someone else to do it, and they were like, yeah, no, you're gonna have to do it because you tell the story better. And I was just like, I'm gonna have to come out from behind this camera.
That's
Yeah.
how we are,
Yeah,
even with our
that's kinda
show
how
and
it
how
happened.
people try to edit and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
nobody can tell you shit the way you can tell
No,
your
you
own shit.
cannot. So
I
I
respect
had to put
that.
on my big girl draws.
Come on behind that lane. Come on now. 2023, we outside.
We telling
put the
stories.
face
Not too
front of it.
much. Not too much.
So the way that we like to start here at the No Homo Show is with your coming out story.
Oh, my blessings.
I ain't never hear that. Lord protect me while I'm telling my coming out story.
Okay.
That's how y'all just gonna start?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we let it start that way. So let us
Blessed
know
be
Lord
thy name.
your
bless
coming out
Okay.
story, how it was for you.
I came out so many times.
Tell us.
Bruh, like I came out so many times. The first time that I think I came out was in the 10th grade.
Okay.
Okay.
I was in the 10th grade and I came out to my best friend and she was just like, didn't know what to do with that information. Like, what do I do with that? Because we didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then I came out again when I was like 16 to my mother. Well, actually, she kind of found out.
How'd she find out?
So I was trying to plead my case because I
See, that's where you know you lost.
I grew up in an African household, and I was like, if I'm gonna
Oh.
be gay, I gotta be a good gay. Like, I gotta be a successful gay. I can't just be any kind of gay.
That's
you know?
true.
So I went online and I'm like I'm like looking up stuff like who is successful that's been identified as queer and blah blah blah. So I'm like printing out this list, and the list just kept coming.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like people historically that like the Michelangelos and the, you know what I mean? Like it was just coming out, and then I fell asleep. And the title literally says like gay historians. And
Wow.
so she came and found a letter, and she just like called me in the room, and she was like, so, do you like men or women? I was like, I like people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was trying to be smart. And, you know, she almost slapped me with the Bible. And she was like, you know what I mean? Like, do you like men or women? And I just had to come clean. Like, I like women. And she just started praying and all the other stuff that comes with religion and culture and all of that. And so I was kicked out at 16 and I was homeless from then.
Wow.
Yeah, in DC. Yeah.
Wow, and you were doing your gay research. We never heard anybody doing
At
gay.
least you tried to at least come with facts and like proof, like, yo, I can still be successful.
Right? I'm like graduated from high school. Like I graduated early, so I was just sitting there like,
damn,
if I'm gay, I gotta figure out a way to be a successful gay person.
Yeah.
Just so they can at least be like, all right, she's gay, but
right.
You know, she's gay, but
so kicked out at 16. Like that sounds hard.
Traumatic.
What did you do?
I was bag lady. For real. I don't know if you guys know like those plastic like laundry bags that people like take to like the laundromats and stuff. It's woven in and it's plastic. Yeah, it was like 2 of those. African people love those bags, by the way. But it was like 2 of those, and I just filled as much as I could, and I just walked from my mom and them lived in Silver Spring and Glenmont. And I just got on the red line, and I just was on the red line for like 48 hours, just trying, because I had nowhere to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I found a friend of mine that I graduated from high school, and he was gay. He lived with a friend of his boyfriend at the time, and he took me in.
Okay.
And so then I was like, nah, I gotta make money, right?
Yeah.
So I ended up in the strip clubs, and that's just kind of how
Oh,
so that's kinda how it went.
oh, my fault.
She's so ghetto.
You had to do what you had to do,
I had to do-
respectfully,
I
though.
did.
She was 16.
Man,
I was 17. I was 17
She had to
at
figure
the time.
things
Okay,
out.
yeah, I had to do what I had to
How'd
do.
you even get hired? Did you have a fake ID? Or?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So I didn't have a fake ID. I had my sister's ID.
Okay.
She gonna hear this.
Uh-oh,
But
sorry,
but I think she knows. I tried to survive as a kid, so she's aware of my discretions. But yeah, I had her ID, and they let me in, and that was the last time I had to use it because I turned 18 like literally 3 months after.
Right.
But it was, I remember in Chinatown. It was a club in Chinatown. And
Chinatown?
Chinatown was like in the middle of DC, and there was a lot of people there, and I was just like, I'm at my last like resort. And so I met this like older chick at the club, and she was like, "You got a little body on you."
Body yada yada.
Okay, get into it. Look, now you hyping it up.
You got a little body on you. You dance? I was like, no. She was like, have you tried it? I was like, no. She was like, come on in here with me.
Yeah.
And it was a wrap from there. Like,
Wow.
literally. And I danced from 17 until I was 21.
Making that, were you making good money? Just
Listen.
for context.
Just because we family, I'm gonna tell y'all, because a lot of people, when I get interviewed, a lot of people ask me a lot about my business, but my story is literally could write itself if I couldn't write it if I tried.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I couldn't. I was just talking about that to my best friend. I was like, this book here, child.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just one of those things where like I danced, but I also was very business minded. Like when I used to be a dancer, I used to want to do day shift. I never wanted to dance night shift. Like,
Really?
I would if it was like the weekends, but I didn't like night shift because the real conversational money came in the daytime. It was white collar workers, it was bus drivers, you know, metro drivers, you know, lawyers, transitioning from work to home. And so they come in between that time.
When that break from their wife. Yeah.
And they literally would have like these deep conversations with me.
Yeah.
And I remember this one guy came back and he was like, I need to stop coming here because we talked about some shit that I wanted to tell my wife about. But I was like, how am I,
Right.
where am I going to tell her I heard it from? You know?
Yeah.
Like I would dance, but it was like really conversation.
Yeah.
And I used to like that part of the job. And I learned a lot about business being in a club. Like
Wow.
a lot about business. So I enjoyed it. I even like did my own little side hustle. I did events. I used to have like brown liquor cigars.
You was pimping? Let me find out you went out here pimping a little goddamn.
Like I used to have like these prestigious people in like DC come through, and the girls had to wear like lace, not like, you know.
Yeah.
And we had a good time.
Yeah.
Like we threw events and we had a good time. It was safe. They were good, and we just had a great time. But that was a time. I was 19.
Yeah. Young.
That was a time.
See, I got two things about that. One, I would do day shift too. I would want to have the
because I
conversation.
didn't want to. I knew I was gay then.
Yeah, I dated a dancer, and she told me like, "Yo, when I do day shift, I don't really dance. I just sit there and talk, and these niggas just vent to me, and they just tip me when they're done." So I would do that. Secondly, living in Atlanta, it exposed me to what like the dancer life really entails. So like it's more than just like sex and this and that. Like you can really like network, meet people, learn different things from being in that. Not trying to convince somebody to do it, but I'm just saying I respect the naked hustle. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I respect. I hate to call them sex workers, but I respect people who are able to own body autonomy and put a price on it. Like, who am I to say you can't put a price on your body? Like, it's yours. And I believe that people should have that. Now, I know that there's a lot of crime that comes behind that. There's a lot of like society, like influence that comes behind being able to do that, because it's not always safe for women, and now it's not even safe for men, and it's not safe for anybody.
That's true.
So I like the regulations where people are able to do things like OnlyFans, where they're in a safe place, they're able to still give that kind of service to people who are looking for that. And be safe doing it and make money. Like, you should be able to do that.
You should, because I know my toes at least $30. At least. Come on, Teresa.
Listen, and you ain't even got to do nothing to
I know.
Like, if you got some big ass lips, just go in there.
Come on now. I know my word.
But yeah, I respect everyone's hustle in that sense. As long as you're not hurting nobody and not hurting yourself, like, you should be able to do what you
respectfully.
need to do.
So 21 comes and you said you were done. So where did you go from that point?
Yeah, so oh Lord, every time someone like starts to ask these questions, it's like therapy session, right? My dad, I actually found out my dad was had stage 4 prostate cancer, and so he was passing away, and it was fatal. And so when I found that out, I was like, I cannot have this man come to America to bring his children to good old America. And I'm dancing when he passes away. Like, how is that? You know what I mean? Like, so I joined the military instantly. Went off to the military. And he actually passed away while I was in basic training. And so I dedicated my entire military career, service, and stuff like that to him until I was hurt and I had to get out. But yeah, and then I did like 6 years in the military, trying to go all the way. I was trying to be a drill sergeant and all of that, but it was cut short, you know, shattered my kneecap. And I was like, God damn, so I got to get out. And I had to figure life out all over again. And at that time it was like the biggest recession ever. It was 2011. No, it was 2009. 2009.
A Jeezy recession.
I remember it.
It was horrible. Like, I thought I was just gonna get out and find a job. I had a secret clearance. Like, I was just like, oh, I'm about to get out here, and no, it was not like that. So that's when the entrepreneurship in me just kind of like came about. I started doing graphic work because I already kind of did that. So I just started opening my own business as a graphics designer. I was doing all that, trying to pay the bills, and then I got into promoting. And so Trebor Entertainment, anybody who remembers Trebor Entertainment from North Carolina, but we started hosting events, bringing stud dancers to North Carolina, and then that's kind of when I started to see, like, there's
you a little hustler.
Here.
You
had like 16 lives.
Legit.
Legit. And I remember that company name too as well.
We used to have events we had the first Black Pride in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I remember back then we found, now her name is Ayana Brian, but Temper. Then.
The OJ.
Like on Black Planet, I think. Like her EP Success had just dropped. Like, we were like, we have to have you. Like, you are dope. And but yeah, I've ran across a lot of people in this industry, and I like the intimate relationships I share with these people versus like, you know, like I said, I'm a private person.
I want to ask one more thing just about your family, because people can probably relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Did you all ever mend how you decided in your sexuality? Did they ever come to terms? It's still like sticky?
It was a journey. And one thing that I have to realize is that my family was battling religion, culture, all these different things before they can see that who I was truly who I was, and not some adaptation of what I thought, you know, that looked like, because they're like, it's a phase, it's a phase.
I was about to say,
you know
a
what
phase,
I mean?
goodness.
So it was really a struggle at first. But my family is one of those families who always will love you regardless. Like, it's one of those things where I felt tolerated at first. You know, it's like, I love you, but don't bring that over here. You know, I love you, but, you know, this is your wife. Like, I was married for almost 8 years, and my mom kept calling her my damn roommate, you know. You know, stuff like that, you know. So it was things like that where it was like, I knew that if I had a wedding, you know, but now
that hurts.
It's different. Like, I'm in a relationship now, been together for 3 years, and I think it's also because she is such a stand-up person, that my family is like, oh, she's a good person, meaning like she has a good job. She's like, you know, she's doing her thing.
Right.
And
Y'all can't be mad. Y'all can't be mad.
Yeah.
So they're just like, okay, I think this one works. This one works. But she's a great person too, so that helps. Yeah.
So where's your family? I know you said African, but what?
Cameroon.
Okay.
Cameroon.
Because I know.
Where's that at? I'm not even going to ask.
Cameroon is right by Nigeria.
Okay.
I always tell people that it's the little country that makes the curve in Africa. Okay. And it looks like, if you look at it standing out, it literally looks like a big booty woman. Yeah, but we're known for our asses, so.
No, because a lot of people, because like you're kind of like first generation, right? Because I know a lot of people that I went to like, cause I went to a boarding school, and a lot of people I went to boarding school was like Nigerian, Liberian, and their parents were. Their expectations seem higher than American parents of their kids, as far as education and like you were saying, religion and stuff.
There's 4 acceptable careers. You're
One gotta be a
lawyer, doctor, engineer. It's like those top tier. Yeah. You know, and it's like, damn, we all can't be that.
And do they kind of feel let down automatically when you can't be that?
Yeah, because they can't see a path to success that way for a huge group of people. Like, they know that the one thing they can't take away from you is your education. Like, no matter what you do in life, your education can't be taken away from you. And that's something that's instilled in us from like this big. Yeah. You know, I came to this country, I was 11 years old. I was 11 years old. And I went into middle school, and it was like the education system is completely different. But I realized that the schools here were not super focused on my education as they were back home.
Oh, wow.
And then the drift started to happen with my family because it was more social here than back home. And they didn't understand that in order for me to survive in schools in America, I had to be social.
Right.
And that was a very hard part for them. So I think education for them is very important. Just making sure that you have a least path of resistance to success. Yeah.
That is so interesting. I'm like intrigued. Like, yeah, girl, drop the brook. Now.
Yeah, my family is very interesting, but they love me and I love them, and there's nothing I would change because I think it's made all of us grow.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta prove that there's other routes, you know what I mean? And they never seen it before.
Too.
Yeah.
With people that are like my family, like if I was like dipping and dabbing, like going from guys to woman to guys to like this and like to femme to dom to like all these different, I said dom because I'm from DMV, but all these different things, but like I have always been consistent in who I dated, what kind of person I dated.
They're like, okay, this really
so they're like, this really,
all right,
all right, ladies, be consistent.
Be consistent.
Your parents don't believe you, neither do we, all right?
Okay, you can't figure it out.
They're like, I'm trying to get on board. You done left the vehicle.
Make up your mind.
You done left us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So when did Stud Model Project come about? How was it started? Who was the inspo? And what is it too? I'm sorry for a 3-part question. And what is it? Just people.
All of that is valid.
Yeah.
There is a bit of mystery behind Stud Model Project, and I think I do that on purpose, but not intentional. It's like I do it because I want the people who really want to join to really do the work to join. It helps kind of filter the noise out. But I started Stud Model Project when I realized that I couldn't find content I couldn't find photos for my events. Like when I was doing flyers and stuff like that, and I wanted to represent the studs and all of that was coming to my events, and all it was like big booty, you know, women for stock photos that I could use on the beach, spread legs, and I was like, I get it, but that's not all that is at my event. And then when I did try to find those photos, they were horrible.
Yeah. No, like
ghetto. I'm playing.
Ghetto as hell.
Like we try to do like a black like tie event, and we can't show no studs.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's
like
facts.
crazy.
People don't even know.
I was like, I'm gonna just take the pictures myself. So I went and bought a camera, and I started going through like if I saw someone that was really cute in my event, I would like pull you into a nice little lit area, and I would take a picture of you, and I ask you if it's okay to use your photo for the flyer, and then it grew. Like people started coming to events because they wanted to
be on the flyer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, there is a thing here. Like these groups of people are looking for an opportunity to model. And we need stock content. And then I had promoters start reaching out to me to see if they can use some of my photos. I was like, sure. But it didn't click then. I was still traveling, taking pictures, creating, having books, which I have one for y'all, but I wanted y'all to kind of interview me first before y'all get a book.
Okay. We love a good gift.
Because I was like, I don't want to get questions about this book yet. So,
she's like, do y'all deserve this? I don't know.
She's like, let me fill y'all out before I get y'all hold
Definitely deserving. But I was just like, there's an opportunity here to create stock content for people in our industry to use those content. And then I was like, every year, every other year, I'll just put out a book. And that shit just took a life of its own.
Wow.
Literally took a life of its own. I was like, okay. Every moment I wanted to put it down, something would happen where it would be like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that yet.
Yeah, because the gay community, the crazy thing is, although we know so many like gay people, like we still are breaking way right now. Even for like the No Homo Show, like a lot of this stuff has not been done before.
No.
Like I said, I didn't even know who was behind the model project.
No. And it's like we're all in these little bubbles doing our thing, but I think it's very important what's happening now is that we are learning the value of communicating with each other, networking with each other, and working with each other. There's so much value in that. And back in the day, everyone used to do their own thing. I mean, we would work with each other, but but I think it's changing, and I kind of want to see where that goes.
Yeah, that's what's up. So now, what year was this when Stud Model Project
was 2011, and then I finally launched it as an LLC in 2012.
Got you.
So the first thing outside the pictures, like you created a book with studs in
Correct.
It, right?
Yeah.
And then when you said like, whenever you try to put it down, like what was the vibes you were getting like?
So the book that you guys are gonna get here, we did a tour for that book. So we did the first book, it was kind of like a test subject. We did it through a company that just prints it out and ships it. But we were making like 25 cents, 50 cents maybe per book.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, I can't, what am I supposed to do with this? And so, but that at that point was just a test subject for volume 1. We had 100 copies. We sold out 100 copies. I was like, we got something. And I was like, let's plan a tour. So I did a tour from Miami all the way up to New York. Yeah, so we stopped in Miami, Atlanta, North Carolina, Virginia, Baltimore, DC, New Jersey, New York, and then came back.
Damn.
Yeah.
A real
and then
tour.
every once in a while, like in that month, we went to California. So we were able to capture some of the West Coast as well. And then we compiled it in a book. And Prince, shout out to Prince, love you, is on the cover of that. And she was my muse at the time. And I don't know, Prince Maynard. And so.
Okay, I know.
Yeah, triple X.
Yeah, I know something about.
Yeah, so she was a muse for me at that time, and I just absolutely adored her. And she was always down if I needed photos. If I was coming to the West Coast, she was just always down.
Dope.
And so we created the book, and then I was like, okay, this is also a buzz. Like people really want to see what goes on behind the scenes. And then that's when the show came out. And so all of that was between 2012 to 2019 when we recorded the show. So it was just been like
grinding.
a journey up and down. I'm like, do I stop? No, I have other views. I want to do this. So many times people are like, you should change it, not do stud model project, do andro so you can include everybody. And I'm like,
but that's the thing. Sometimes it ain't meant for that. Like,
I was like, I don't think y'all understand the purpose of this project.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think y'all understand that this is a highlight of a specific group. Not saying that everyone that is masculine presenting assigned female at birth can be a part of it. But here we honor a certain experience in that masculine journey.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay, so I ain't got nothing else to say.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to help us honor them.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not changing that.
Yeah, y'all got a purpose and just stick to it.
Yeah, yeah.
How does people get a part of the stud model project? Is it like handpicked or can people audition?
It used to be handpicked, but not anymore. Now you can just go through and sign. Right now we're closed because
Too many studs.
Too many studs.
we were trying to get to 2,000 by the end of this year, and before even June, we were at 2,500.
Y'all got 2,500 studs. Hey, yo, that's a lot of studs, bro.
You think I'm
I don't
playing?
even think I ever met 2,500 studs.
She looking like.
That is dope. That is amazing. How do y'all now? Is there like
and those are the ones that are on the app.
On the actual app? So there's
On the actual
even
app.
more beyond
So
that.
we have like 8,000 like people who have requested and all of that.
So when you say on the app.
Yeah,
talk about
don't
that.
skip past the app.
Yeah, don't like,
skip past the app.
So we have a membership app like behind the scenes. So this is how a stud model project works. So if you apply and you go through the process and you get accepted, there's a fee that you pay up front to join, right? So once you pay that fee to join, you get access to our app. And so you get access to our community, myself, the team that I have behind me that helps with photography, creative direction, all of that. You get access to all of us. You can always ask questions along your journey.
So the studs are paying to be a part of this.
So
okay.
they're paying the membership, right?
Pimping.
So,
Say no, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking
Right.
with you. The strip club.
it brings
I'm
them
fucking
all
with you.
together, right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we also have training behind that. We have like a 13 course training that helps you like navigate the modeling industry,
Wow.
get booking.
So it's like an
through.
agency.
It's an agency, but you are in charge of your own like building your portfolio. It's kind of
Got
like
it.
the stepping stone. Because a lot of people that are joining Stud Model Project have never modeled before.
Right.
And most of them have never even done a professional photo shoot before.
Got
you know?
you.
And so you're already masculine presenting, you're already assigned female at birth, you're already a person of color probably.
The odds is against us.
Against you. So what we do is we have a 12-month program that is supposed to help you build a really solid portfolio, digital portfolio, physical portfolio, work with brands, collaborate with brands, get training, learn what your skill is, hone that skill.
Yeah, we was wondering why you ain't give us a call, but it makes sense now. We should look into signing up and doing
Yeah.
the long wait list.
Yeah.
So with
Well,
25
now, don't get me wrong, Net, like in the future, we're looking for promo models as well. And promo
Okay.
models are those people like yourself who have that big following already. So what you'll be doing is more so mentorship than being a part of the agency. So
Got you.
can have like workshops with us, and those are things that you might as well come to the community that wants that kind of workshop.
Yeah.
So
Right.
maybe you guys are already doing this and you want to show people how to set this up, do content creating, whatever. You can hit me up and be like, hey, Teresa, look, I want to throw a workshop. You know what I mean? Whatever. If you want to do it for free, do it for free. If you want to charge, you charge. We work that out. So those are the kind of like brand collaborations that I'm talking about. When we did that with like the fit, the mask fit, that's kind of like that kind of collaboration where
So
we bring the people to the event.
So how you picking people to be in these books since you got so many and stuff like that?
That is the problem now. It wasn't a problem before.
Like if you don't pick
So
up,
many, bro, that's a lot.
It wasn't a problem before, but right now,
Yeah.
yes, it is. Yeah, yeah,
got too many studs.
yeah.
Yo.
We
That's
still
why we
girls
have to-
because we petty. We
For real.
want
And
to
when
be
I
your,
tell you in Brazil,
Wow.
in South
Damn,
Africa,
so y'all international
in Kenya,
too?
in Nigeria, in the UK, it's Brazilian. Shout out.
okay.
Thank y'all.
Wow.
It's from all over. It's quite interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Like we're even starting to get contacts from like social media platforms in China that want this type of content. Like y'all should look into that, really. Putting your content on some of those platforms in other countries.
Hell yeah. We're going to have a little talk after that.
Just out of curiosity, I know you said you was in a relationship. Are you attracted to studs? Like, is that what you're like?
I am attracted to masculinity.
Okay.
Period.
Like,
let's talk about BET, because I saw y'all on BET.
That was an experience.
Let's talk about how that even happened, because that's major. That is major.
Shout out to the entire BET team. Y'all the shit. So they reached out to us, and the video, we had a few videos go viral within like a 2-week period. I mean, they were doing like 4 million, 6 million views. And I was just like, okay. And then people like some comedians started to post some of it. Whether derogatory or not, don't matter to me. All promotion is good. Keep posting.
Keep posting. Keep hating on our gay content.
They be so mad.
Because y'all be
They be so mad.
Girl, why
boiling hot.
Hold on. Why are straight people so mad at gay content?
I have no idea.
Pissed
and they make it their identity. The ones that are literally like, I'd be like, oh, that's why you get your period. I said, bitch, what? That you read all these comments, and that's the best you can come up with.
And it be the paragraphs that like bro,
and you want to condemn me to your God. How you know we had the same God?
Right.
How do you know we pray to the same person, baby?
That's a good response. Like, we're not even praying to the same God.
If your God could do this, that ain't the God I pray to.
Okay, for real.
I don't. So, but yeah, they really hate that. But this BET contacted us, and they were just like, we saw some of your videos. I've been, showing everyone your content, and we just think you're dope, and we want to feature and do something with you guys. And when they said that, I thought, maybe they just want to send a few cameras, 1, 2, 3, maybe. We got to set up everything. We got to get the studio, get all that done, and then they'll just send a camera crew. No.
It was giving budget for the stud model project.
We don't know how that feel, boy.
They was like, okay, BET did their thing. They was like, this is what we're going to pay you. This is what we're going to pay them. And this is what we're going to take care of. This is what we're going to, I couldn't touch nothing.
Yeah. And
I was like, I don't know how to do this, because I'm the girl behind the scenes.
Right. Yes.
I'm the one making sure my models are good. I'm the one making sure everybody is good. I was running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah.
We know.
I'm not used to sitting still and having people like wait on me. So
especially that was like BET, that's a major platform.
It's major, and it was such an experience. And shout out. It gave me the idea to go back into filming a show for Stud Model Project, because I had given up on that. Like, for a minute, I was like, I'm not doing this shit no more.
Yeah.
Like, I put so much into that, and
it's
COVID
tough,
happened and just like shut shit the fuck down.
And you don't know what's going to take off.
I lost so much money in that it was just like scary. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna recover. Like, thank you for the help.
That's God. That's your God. That's your God.
Thank you,
I was like,
Lord.
how am I gonna do this? But they were able to have some services out that helped us out, and we were able to bounce back and just kind of reformat the business. And that's the agency that y'all see now. Was just through COVID, we were like, okay, if we can't travel and do the things that we normally do, how do we bring them to us?
Right.
How do we give them virtual love and still attention, and create these like safe pockets? Like, we went through the whole thing, COVID restrictions, and making sure they filled out all of that and kept the sizes small, but we built it, and it worked. It worked, and I was excited to see it work. Yeah, especially during COVID.
Yeah. So people can still check that out too, right? Is it on BET or BET Plus?
It's on SVTV Network.
Okay.
So it's on SVTV Network. Yes, you can still check it out on SVTV Network. And there are a few episodes on YouTube.
Okay.
And what did that do for you guys? Like, even being on a platform like that, and not just a gay platform, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it gave us an opportunity as well to let, especially the Black community, know that there is another pocket of queerness that you guys don't find valuable, but I want to show you that it's valuable. Because I would love to do what RuPaul has done for the drag, not that we're drag, but I would like to do what RuPaul has done for the drag community, for our community, because we have a lot of talent. We have so much talent in our community, and we set trends. Goddamn it,
we sure do.
What nobody say. These cut shirts that stop. This,
Come
that's
on
a stud
now.
thing.
Yes,
that's a stud thing. Them little flare jeans that y'all. That's a stud. I don't care what nobody says.
Hello.
Like, so we set trends as well, and it's just like no one really knows how to hone in and package that and serve it to, you know, the masses and it be accepted everywhere. No one has figured that out yet.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I need to figure out how to do that without like continuing to perpetuate this like stereotype of what people think studs are.
That part, that's why I love what we do, because we're taking control of our narrative. Because a lot of things that I see that are like gay content is like, I can't relate to that. That's not, that don't feel real for me. So that's why when I saw it, I was so happy. I'm like, thank God. Because I'm just so tired of like, you know, it's just, I won't say certain series out there that are out there, but I can't relate to that. Where you got these writers typing up their fantasies that are just not how the lesbian community really is. So shout out to y'all.
Like, I want to have a wholesome movie, like a movie where it just dictates a story between maybe two to four friends that maybe have gone through, you know, college and regular life shit, romance, regular life shit, and show these people's individual personalities versus like clumping it all into one fucked up stereotype of what you think black masculinity is on a woman or on a person that's assigned female. That like that drives me nuts.
When Keke Palmer did Pimp,
hey, Keke was being the best gay girl she
y'all
could
couldn't
be.
find no real stud to play a stud. No disrespect to Keke.
And I
love her to death. I love her to death, but I just was like, yo, why didn't y'all just like attempt for Aina?
There are so many that could have killed
real
studs.
Yeah,
like,
that are actors.
And when I say I drool Keke Palmer, I love you.
No, I love her to death.
But you're right. Like, when you're in this community and you see something like that, you're like, God damn it. Like, do you know how many other people could have really killed this role?
No, for real. I was like, damn, it be politics though. We're going to get into some politics today, because I feel like a lot of times when I see things about our community on the internet.
That Keke though.
That Keke sent me.
I ain't gonna lie, just her being a stud, it was like.
Cause I love Keke.
Yeah, but.
And I know she got a little rainbow in her.
Yeah,
but I just was like, yo, y'all couldn't find nobody else to play the stud.
It was the way they made her look. It just.
Like when I T-Fast the stud, boom.
Boom. Get it.
What?
Get it.
But like.
Felicia, Snoop,
what?
Boom.
Y'all could have called Days Low. It's just so many people y'all could have called. Y'all could have called the Brat. Y'all could have called so many people.
Days would have been a pin.
Bro, she would have killed that role. She don't. No, I'm sorry, the Brat. Don't be mad. We love you, but I'm just saying like that right there just like it made me want to do my own movies and my own series, because it's like, yo, y'all not really showing us in the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I just accepted Keke for that role, but when you say it is like, bro, why would y'all do that?
And then she was also in Nope. I think she was queer in Nope.
Yes, she was.
And I just like the lines were just like, yo, quit just making her gay.
Yeah.
Everything about her gay, everything she says is gay. Like, you can be gay and then still be talking about some real shit.
But she's an actress though too.
I'm not blaming it on Keke. Yeah. It's more of the writers and the casting people that's like, yo,
Keke should get that star roll up though. I ain't gonna lie.
Dead ass.
Hey, look, I know y'all into the episode, but we got something to show you.
If y'all into all kind of freaky stuff, shotstarship.com.
Basically, what she trying to say is, listen, if you want some freaky, kinky, all the above things with you and your girl, or if you trying to get you a girl, you need to go to shopstarship.com. Enter our code for 15% off.
No Homo Show is the code. No Homo Show is the code for 15% off.
Y'all, I got leather, I got whips, I got bondage.
I'm taking this home.
You better whip that in your mouth.
I'm out of here.
Let's go.
So let's talk about some politics, because like I was saying, so when things are put out there, people speak on it without doing the research. They don't know what the fuck going on. And even for myself, I had to learn that we gotta do our research, because
I mean, I have to do the same. I have to do the same because
before you speak on something.
before I speak on something, and I actually said that coming in here, I was like, you know, this is one of those situations where I'm going to speak on how I feel the direction of politics is going,
right?
Versus the end of, because I know that it's 500 plus that's out there, right? Literally 49 states have all voted, literally, and about 80 of them have been approved. Yeah. 300 and something still active, just sitting there. And these are like fucked up. These are some of the most fucked up laws that
we going backwards.
Literally.
Yes. Y'all are writing history.
So why? What do you think and why? Why are we going backwards?
Lord.
She putting the water down, y'all. Hold up.
Because listen, when I tell you I talk this all day, every day, like I muddle over this every day. It is the age of the Aquarius. We all know this. The feminine energy is in power, and I speak like this because that is what I believe. That's what's happening.
What do you mean the age of the Aquarius?
So
I don't.
We're in a space right now where we are meant to progress. Okay, we are meant to move forward.
Right.
But what moving forward looks like for everybody is going to disenfranchise a certain group of people who have always been in power.
Right.
And that is scary. It's scary. Regardless if you're the big bad beast, you can be scared too. You know what I'm saying? That is scary for them. I don't give a shit, but it's scary for them. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you have this happening where people are, I mean, we have changed so much over hundreds and hundreds of years as human beings. What makes you think that we're not entering into a space where the body is becoming more and more androgynous? What makes you think that that's not happening, that we're not evolving into humans where our sexual organs are kind of different than what we identify, than what we are as chromosomes and all of that? Like, what makes you think that that's not happening? And what makes you think that's not happening to save a certain group of people that have been fucking tortured for a long period of time?
Come on now. Like, let's really get into it.
Right? And so it's like, I understand being the big bad guy, but still being scared. But you don't want nobody to look like they're scared, and you still in power. So you're trying to rewrite all these things to not make you look scared, and you want to do all these things, but it's like, bitch, we see you.
Right.
They trying to get control
back.
Yeah, like you spinning.
Y'all breaking under pressure. Spinning. We know why y'all doing this. Because there's so many other things that are major beyond this that y'all spending so much time on.
I grew up in a Catholic church, so we're not even gonna go there. Literally.
We ain't even gonna go there. Yeah.
So it's very disheartening when they blame things on a group of people and they have absolutely no evidence that in a general state of mind that these group of people are responsible for this thing.
Right.
You have no evidence. There's evidence over here, these other groups of people, there's mad evidence on that. Right. But you won't touch that because that is you.
Right. No, that's a fact.
Let's just start with places because we received a little backlash, and we'll get into it, when we went down to Florida and we had events and people were saying, we're supposed to be boycotting Florida right now. So Florida's probably the most popular one because they talk about it all the time, but honestly it's Ohio, South Carolina, Texas, Montana, Nebraska, it's everywhere, even Georgia. Yeah, there's a lot of places that are passing laws that are anti our community, and y'all should do y'all research so that y'all don't be so quick to speak on things that we're not just informed of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I know with Florida, and y'all were down there too as well.
Absolutely.
So did y'all receive any backlash for participating in pride activities during a time where people felt like we should not be going to Florida?
Let me get your input, because I had a perspective that I thought made sense. But how you feel about it?
So for me, first, I took the lead role in this as far as like letting everybody, first of all, in the app, in the group, know that we are aware that this is something that is going to test some of y'all that don't want to participate because you're boycotting or whatever, and we respect that. And at some point I wanted to say no. I was like, no, we're not going to do it. But I was like, the queer people that are coming out to this, and the queer people in Florida and the residents of Florida don't deserve to not have it, because this might be probably the last event that they might be able to have in Florida. Like, there's still black gay people and queer people, period, in Florida. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm doing a disservice by not still honoring them in a sense. So I went there not because, oh, it was boycott, whatever. I was because I knew it was a concentrated pool of people, of a demographic. And so if I'm spending my money in this concentrated pool of a demographic, then I feel okay with that.
And when people boycott, they don't understand that it's affecting the people that are black that actually are still here.
That's what I was going to say. Like, my wife is from Florida, right? And we know there's a lot of people that live in Florida, but not even outside of that. If all gay people stop being there, they would low-key, even though it might mess up their economy a little bit. Yeah. That's what they are. That's what they want. So why are we doing what they want?
That's exactly what they want.
And this is the crazy thing is we are such in a trendy time. Like you said, like motherfuckers will read not even a whole paragraph. Like you will literally read boycotting and the gay community. You don't even know why.
Yeah.
So you like, yo, we boycotting it. But the thing is, they don't want you there, so you're not gonna be there.
Yeah.
That's
you're feeding into exactly what they want.
Exactly.
Like deadass, I told my fiance, I was like, babe, I'm ready to move into Wyoming. I'm ready to move inland.
At this point, put it in
I'm ready to move inland. Buy me a big ass plot of land with some farming backyard and move inland. Because at the end of the day, like, we have to diversify this entire.
We have to.
Stop sitting on the edges. Mm-hmm. Stop sitting on the edges. It's time.
I want to go to Wyoming too. But yeah, I felt that way too. I'm like, let me think about how I want to say it. Like, I'm more of like a Malcolm X approach when it comes to shit. Like, I'm like, I want to keep it peaceful, but it's like, nah, like, let's really get in the field. You know what I'm saying?
I am a technology activist. I feel like if we as a people stop looking at technology as something that they're using to control us and see it as the tool that it is.
Right.
We can really get ahead of this. The STEM programs, all of that, like I'm a stickler in that. Like I love technology, AI, automation, all these things. And people are like, oh, they're gonna steal jobs from you with AI. I was like, that's because you don't want to learn how to use it.
Right.
If you learn how to use it, you can do 6 people's jobs, which will put you ahead of the other person that's trying to hire this person and that person to do the job.
AI do scare me a little bit. It scared me for the simple fact, no, this is why it scared me, right? Because like, people, it don't scare me about the job thing. It scared me about the people being stuck in a virtual world, right?
Got it.
So like, instead of you getting a photo shoot to look corporate, you can literally insert your picture and get a corporate looking picture.
It's giving catfish.
So, yeah, right. But this is the thing. Now people are so in love with the babies that look like them. You literally are in love with this baby. Oh my God, I want a baby.
And then when
now.
your baby come out and look nothing like
I have
AI,
not
baby.
heard of this. Wait a minute. Wait. Pause.
You ain't see that?
The app with the babies?
Wait, people are falling in love with their
they're posting
with
it like
little babies.
They're posting like, oh my God, I need a baby.
sad.
First of all, y'all baby look a little funny. All right. That's my petty.
No, because look, you got high expectations now. No shade.
But
you know your baby gonna look like this.
No.
And the thing is, I'm all
My
about.
baby ain't gonna look like that.
I'm all about technology, but people are slowly falling in love with the virtual world.
Yeah.
I'm talking about to where there is gonna be a time, like even like my nephew got the VR shit.
I did too.
And it's
That shit
crazy
cool.
because you
It's
can
kinda
look around,
cool.
you can really feel like you on a beach. So imagine once technology get crazy, like people are gonna live in a virtual world, and that's what kind of scares me. Not the job shit, because I do agree. Like yes, and this is very simple. Like if a machine can flip a burger, they don't need you. But then that's why we do need to
be
use
in the program so that way we could be the ones building the machines.
and all that.
Yeah.
But the virtual world shit
setting up those
scares me.
algorithms that benefit everybody versus just one specific group of people.
Yeah. People are starting to even like how we say, just looking at trends on social media and running with it. Like the virtual world is scaring me. That's what's scaring me, not the AI.
I'm excited about it.
You are?
I feel like because we're born in a different time and age that we gonna know how to balance it out.
Yeah,
and make it work
because
in our
we
favor.
have been through so many technology curveballs.
The people that's born into
30 years from now,
they're gonna be lost. People
Like
are
literally,
they're gonna be lost.
We looked at Knight Rider like that thing was never gonna happen. We got Teslas running around here delivering food.
They talking about they got the first flying car ready to go.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, I see both sides.
I'm an alien anyway. So
okay. So let's talk about some specific things. Okay, let's talk about one of the LGBTQIA plus laws they're trying to pass are with transgender being in sports.
Yes.
And we've spoken about this before. So let's say how we all feel about this law. And this is being passed, not just Florida. It's like I said, Ohio. So it's a lot of places that's passing it. So how do we feel about this particular bill?
I feel two ways. And sometimes when I answer this, some people think that, I contradict myself. But I think two ways. I think that we are in a phase where, again, evolution is happening. Women are people who are assigned female at birth. Women, for the context of the show, I will say women. Women are starting to develop more strength and all of that, as well as men are starting to decrease in testosterone. Women are starting to increase in it's just science. That's what's happening, right? Whether you present it that way or you don't, that's what's happening. Now, does that mean that we are in a time where the men in today can, compete in sports with women today? There is a disadvantage. There's a disadvantage there. Is that going to be the case 50 years from now, 100 years from now, when evolution has actually created what I think it's doing? Maybe not. Maybe at that point we'll look at basketball and say we're looking for the fastest, the person who can jump the highest. We don't care if you're a man or a woman. We just want the best basketball player, the best tennis player, the best this, the best that, right? Because if you're looking at a basketball team, yes, we're not going to put LeBron James against another woman, whatever the case may be. But maybe there is a woman that's better than your most mid player. Or maybe there is a guy who is not as good or whatever, and he's like, okay, I really still want to play. I don't see that there should be a discrimination in that, but right now I see that there's a biological disadvantage still. And so again, I use the word honor a lot because I have to honor that experience, that we just don't have the science that shows that women are more powerful, stronger, blah, 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 than men in general. We don't, that's not what it is right now. So in this very moment, I think that we're kind of seeing that could be a thing. It could be a possibility, but we're not there yet.
I love how you said that. I do. No, but she answered it right, because I don't think this is not wanting transgender. I don't think it's that. I think it's really a biological thing. I don't think this is being discriminating against transgender. Right. And I do believe that. But I do understand, like, if you're I know people that transition from female to male that take testosterone that are stronger than
as hell.
Me. Yeah,
as hell.
I do understand that. But I do feel like, on the other hand, I know you're stronger than me. I know you're stronger than me. So that's just like, you have an advantage because of something. You know what I'm saying? So vice versa, as far as like, even if you were man to woman, like, biologically, like, this don't got nothing to do, you know, because I do understand, like,
there's some men that won't go in the ring with Layla Ali when she was at her height. Will not do it because she a beast. You know what I mean? So I just feel like when you're talking about that, I hope that at some point we do get to a point in sports where we can start to look at the person's strength, talent, and ability and compare that to the next. And if it weans out all the women, it's going to wean out some men too, though. So that's why I'm like, we're going to get to that point at some point. But I think right now, again, we're battling people who don't want to relinquish certain power. So
that's what, honestly, I agree with both sides, but then I don't trust these people. All right, so while that sounds like a very good excuse. Biologically, a man.
It's not an excuse, bro.
I'm just saying because I don't trust them. Because it's a lot of transphobia things out there. Majority of the laws and bills that are passed, they're not even really against lesbians and bisexuals. It's really all about transgender people.
Because that's the new thing.
Yeah, I
so
get
it
that.
makes me feel like, why are y'all just targeting them when it's a whole...
No, but it's not targeting. That's something that needs to be addressed right now. Is this transgender woman playing on this sport, or
But just like she said, Layla Ali, she's not a transgender.
Yeah, but she's the number one. Like you talking about number one.
If you train to that point of being able to do that, to where you can outperform a nigga.
Yeah, but so I think a lot of the people that are talking about this are usually, you notice they don't really talk about trans men. They don't bring them into the equation at all, because a lot of cisgender men, I believe, are not threatened by trans men. They're just, because they've always been up here, so it's just kind of
they don't think they're real men.
Yeah, they're like, I feel like, especially those that are like bigoted, homophobic, whatever. Yeah, I just feel like they feel like that. They're like, I'm not worried about you, you know. Yeah. But it's like, when we're talking about trans in sports, that is a very touchy subject.
It is.
It's a very touchy subject for a lot of people, because they're thinking like men can take the advantage by coming into women's sports. Right. They're not thinking women are going to take an advantage by going into men's sport, because they don't think that we have that kind of power. Right. So they're more concerned about men taking advantage of women's sport. But they're not only doing it because, they're concerned about women, kind of like they think they're concerned about the children. It's not about concern about women. It's about the fact that they know, as I'm projecting, they know that at some point, those opportunities for y'all gonna dwindle.
Right. And it becomes more severe when it goes from just giving an opinion, like how we're all speaking and we feel how we feel and we should be entitled to that, to actually passing a bill.
A bill, exactly.
That's the severity behind it as well. Like, damn, y'all feel that strong about it. Y'all took time to write up a bill. Yeah. But we got so many other things going on, but y'all had time to sit down and gather and make a bill about it.
But that's why I feel like that's the agenda. And they keep saying like it's an agenda. And I feel like that's the agenda. It's like, is preservation. Right. Period. It's preservation. Preservation of their way of life, preservation of history, preservation of power, preservation of point of view, preservation of religion. They want to control all of that.
So I got something similar, but this is kind of different. All right. So Miss Italy has banned transgender competition in the pageants. Right, where this is a little different because it's not like strength type, right? But the one thing is it is modification. Am I saying that right? That like plastic surgery, transgender might get plastic surgery, so that it might tip the scale a little bit. How do y'all feel about that? Because I do kind of see a difference, but then maybe instead of, maybe it should just be no surgeries. Not with transgender, just
because everybody gets surgery.
Yeah, that's another thing too. How you feel about that?
I feel like the beauty industry too, and especially the pageant industry, is already it's such a Barbie-like industry anyway. You know, the hair, the makeup, the glitz and glamour, the pulls and tits, and all that you do. It's you're putting on a show. So I feel like there should be allowed to modify their bodies how they see fit if you do it naturally. And I say naturally, meaning like you're not cutting into your body. You know what I mean? Because there are many ways that you can enhance your body without having to do surgery and actually cut into your body. So I feel like they should be allowed to do that, just because it's going to be harder. It's getting harder and harder to try to like pinpoint who's natural and who's not. Right. Like, you're going to drive yourself crazy and the whole entire organization trying to figure out who did what and what. But you can tell that if they had surgery where they like cut into themselves. Like, you can tell that. So I think there should be limitations there. But when you're coming into trans women, this subject gets touchy for me, just because I feel everyone should have the right to do whatever they feel, as long as you're not hurting anybody. You're not hurting yourself, you should be able to do what you want. We put all these laws out here. We're the ones doing that shit. Like, it's crazy. We're the ones doing that shit. So for trans women, especially trans men too, I like to advocate for them, but I also have to be a realist and understand that we're in a transitional period right now.
Transitional
That's
period.
the word of
That's like dead ass.
Everything is transitioning.
Fairly new. Like
It's fairly new.
No,
it's not that trans people themselves are new, but the idea of globalizing laws around the protection or the rights of trans people is fairly new.
Right.
You know, so we're in this transitional period, so we have to walk carefully when we're trying to fight, because on top of that, black trans people's fight ain't the same. Okay,
don't even get me started on that.
Our fight is different.
Don't even get me started on that.
So,
man.
you know, I see both sides.
Yeah, for
I see
real.
both sides.
Yeah, I definitely think it's still because they're transgender.
I'm gonna always be on my brothers and sisters side, always.
That's
but
a
you know,
fact.
I do understand that we're in that period right now.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like
People
even
in the
with
pageant they think ain't nobody in the pageant that got something done.
that's
to
what
them.
I'm saying. Like if people,
like come on now,
They whitening teeth and
come on now.
Like, come on, let's do
people
all
are
that.
modifying
Let's take it
the
a
way they
little
look.
further.
Like,
and that's
come
the
on.
thing. It's like, when are we going to like I said, the biological thing? I can understand that, and I want to talk to transgender to get their perspective. We had somebody on here that voiced their opinion, so that's great. But even with the pageant thing, it is like we're still trying to like just divide. Now, is there a real reason? Like if everybody's getting surgery, then shut up.
Right.
And then it's like, wait, y'all just want to be in drag, like drag type stuff, or compete in like
It's
transgender
suspicious.
pageants.
It's a little
like,
suspicious.
yeah, because because y'all mad because they be some
bad as hell looking.
No, I believe a lot of it
and
is
handsome
that.
transgender. Like I want to get the men and the women. Like y'all
That's
mad
what it
because
really
y'all
is.
starting not to be able to tell the difference.
That's hello. Let's really talk about it.
Let's talk
And
about
y'all
it.
sneaking.
Let's talk about it, because that hyper masculinity will get you fucked up every time.
I'm trying to tell
Every
you.
time.
So another one are about the restrooms. Okay.
Oh,
so
my Lord.
Transgenders, if you identify as she and you want to go into the women,
We stressing her out. We stressing her
But
Because
out.
let
but
me
you're
tell
M
you
to F.
something.
They're
Like,
like,
you
nah,
is
ain't
not
no more
about
of
to be
that.
the dick and pussy police on my watch. Like, you're not. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right, like,
so you
hold
about to
on.
follow me in the room and try to figure out if I got a dick or a pussy?
Yeah, I always wonder
Like,
how
how?
those situations
How you
even
gonna
come
do
about.
that?
Yeah, to where you like, nah, you can't go in
Because
there.
if you see my fiance, she identifies as a she, but like she's mad, and she gets really, really like anxiety going into bathrooms.
Yeah,
I
no,
do too.
people don't understand
'Cause- and I'm
stuff.
not even
Because it's
transgender.
dangerous.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
and I'm not even
dangerous.
trans. And when I walk in, I'll try to do like this with my little titties or like adjust my voice or nobody, because I don't want to have to cuss a bitch out. Because, bitch, I can read if it says woman and I'm coming to the women's
That
restroom.
part.
This is why I'm coming here, because I'm a woman.
So now you got to stand there and flash a motherfucker in the bathroom that you
Shit
got
crazy,
titties.
right?
You know what I'm
And
saying?
even
And it's
also-
nuts. Like a young lady was just murdered the other day because they thought she was trans, and she's a whole biological woman. And that's why I say
This shit fucking
our
up
fight is
people's head.
different,
Yeah.
because for women, for black women, especially black women out here talking all that bullshit, like, sweetheart, your motherfucking life is in jeopardy, because blackness is already motherfucking masculine in itself.
Yes, it is.
And then you put that on a woman, and then now you're telling me that I can easily discriminate or do whatever with trans people. Half of the people that are telling you this think you trans.
That's the other day when I was like, people were starting to ask me my pronouns. I don't think it's out of respect. It's kind of like because maybe my voice is deep, or they're just like, their mind don't know where to go nowadays. So it's really like a very confusing time for everybody, even for ourselves. And we're a part of the community. Like, we try to be respectful.
I mess up pronouns.
That's
all
why I
the
asked
time.
you earlier. I'm like, which pronouns? Because I don't
All
want to
the
fuck up,
time.
because I've done that with somebody. They like, them they. I'm like, yo, I would have never known that. I'm sorry. Like, show me some grace with it a little bit.
That part. And then I say that to people too. And I'm like, if it took you 12 plus years to accept your pronoun is this,
Right.
don't expect me to get it in 12 minutes, 12 hours, 12
Yeah.
days, 12 months. Like, give me a minute.
Give us
I'm
some
going to get
grace.
it,
Give
because
us
I
some
love
grace.
you and I respect you and I want to make sure that I honor you. But give me a little bit of grace, baby, because that ain't what you was last year when I met
Yeah.
you. So I have to reprogram how I speak to you, how I see you, how I address you.
Yeah.
And I will do the work, but give me some time.
Yeah, shit goes
Yeah.
deep. Now, you actually from Africa, right?
Yeah.
Uganda.
Cameroon.
No, I'm saying they have a law.
Have
sorry.
I?
So Uganda
Yes,
has a
yes.
law where if they convict you of being gay,
My country got that law.
you go to jail for life in prison.
My country.
It's
got
like
that law.
you made the offense a couple times, a current offender or something.
Yeah.
It's like
And it's been that way where you're from?
Yeah, the president of my country he's been president since 1982.
That's
wow.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
He's stuck in his
homosexuality
ways.
has been a sin and has been a legal sense, but we never really had the language for it nor the representation for it. So when you would see that feminine uncle that you knew, you just kind of accepted who he was. You didn't talk about it; it was taboo. You knew he was different, but that wasn't a conversation. But I think now queerness is becoming so more prevalent and so open, and we're connecting with each other on social media. Like the stud community in Africa is nuts. You know what I mean?
They be showing us mad love.
We have a lot of followers.
They
from
connect
Africa.
with us in such an organic way. And because that's becoming more open and freeing for them, and they're advocating for themselves, our great nation of continent of Africa, majority of the countries think that we're introducing some kind of like Western queer culture to
like
Africa. Like it ain't been around for ages and ages and ages, right?
Crazy.
And so they're just trying to stop any kind of westernization of their culture, and homosexuality happens to be one of them.
So what's our call of action, y'all? What advice can we give to the people out there as far as moving forward? Because I thought they were starting to accept this more, and then these bills come, and I'm like, damn, we took 10 steps forward to
Literally.
And I can't even imagine like really being in love, like living out there, being in love with somebody and not being able to be ever show.
Like that just made me emotional. Like yes,
for real.
because
we watching it from a
we
distance.
take that for
really,
granted.
really like
it's supposed to be the land of the free.
Yeah, we
Can't
take that
even
for
be
granted,
yourself.
and they will hold on to their religion and hold on to the fact that they're straight. And I'm looking straight, and I'm like, child, you was
You know
not.
damn well.
I know damn. I can see it from America that you was not. I can see it from here, baby girl. But they have to play the role, especially if they're like in these, in FIFA and all of that. They have to maintain a specific type of look. And I'm not saying that all of them are queer. That's not what I'm saying. But I know for a fact it's got to be at least 8 out of motherfucking 15 of y'all is queer.
Yeah.
But y'all can't really be
50-50.
50-50. And I stand on that. I stand on that because I'm looking, girl.
I think it is a very tough situation because, before I'm even gay, I'm a black woman.
Yes.
That alone is still a continuous fight to this day.
Yes.
So now just having to pick up more of this, it gets stressful out here. You know what I'm saying? But I think that everyone should just do their due diligence, do your research, speak on like from a factual point, not just like so much of an opinionated point. And actually try to understand people too. I feel like we are not very patient within our own community. People are just so quick to judge. Whereas like, yo, just try to figure out why this person feels like this. Like even with the Jess Hilarious situation and the woman that spoke off,
Can we talk about that real quick?
I do want to talk about it. Cause I was like,
give the situation.
From what I perceived, and again, that's the thing with the internet, I might have just caught one part of it. So what I saw was a trans woman made a post, and it was actually a response to somebody that wrote her on TikTok that spoke on, see, that's where I don't want to speak too much on it, because it's like, they said something about cisgender women have to do, I don't know what it was, but basically whatever the woman said was, what makes y'all think that periods belong to y'all? Who says that menstrual cycles belong to a biological woman? And then Jess Hilarious took it upon herself. From what I saw, I don't think that the lady was talking about Jess or anything, but Jess made a stitch out of nowhere and responded to it and said, yo, y'all wish y'all could have a period. Y'all wish y'all could have cramps. And I was like, why did Jess even respond to that?
Because that's her hidden bigotry.
It's a trigger for her, right?
It's a trigger. That's her hidden bigotry. And she got to fight that. She got to work on that.
That ain't on us.
That ain't on us.
I feel like she attacked.
She fighting something. You fighting something, baby girl.
And then even though, like, the thing is, like, all trans women might not even agree with what the woman said, but you took it out on the whole trans community.
And the thing that that whole conversation was, and I tried to tell people, is that when she said that it doesn't belong to biological women, like cisgender women, is because trans men have periods.
Okay, so when I
Trans
heard that,
men
right,
have periods,
if they're not taking testosterone, they get their period.
They get their periods. And non-binary people have periods.
That part.
You know what I mean? So when you're saying that it belongs to biological women, and then you're also disengaging completely from the biological women who don't get periods.
Right, because there are some women who don't.
I was kind of
the intersex
females
people who don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're completely disregarding a whole subsection of people. And then you just came out and you were just so hateful and visceral and like, girl, go to therapy, child.
You ain't have to stand up.
You
to
ain't have
nothing.
to do all that.
That woman ain't not
You
saying
did
she
not
ain't
have to
nobody,
do
but
all
it
that.
wasn't like it was nothing major to be like, why did you speak out on that?
Yeah, so I was confused on that, and I also you did make a good point.
That was
about,
a great point that nobody has said thus far.
I was kind of confused on what the transgender woman was saying, because I'm like, well, women are but I feel like there's this real battle of transgender women saying I am a woman, and like straight women feeling like they need to fight that they're a woman.
I'm a real woman,
right?
Yeah.
And
you wish you could be a real woman,
right?
That shit crazy.
Like,
mostly black women.
Yeah.
What is that battle about?
Yeah.
Like, is it like what are y'all?
And
really
I said that before.
about?
I said, and as a black woman, I already have to fight for my womanhood before trans people were even brought into the equation for my life, for my experience. I already have to fight as a black woman to get anything done, right? And I'm like, y'all, so in my blackness, and I have to honor that, in my black womanness, I have to honor that I feel like, and when I say black trans people have a different fight, they have a different fight.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this fight is really, and I'm going to say y'all can cancel me, it's okay, but it's for a specific group of trans people. These laws that were put in place to help this group of people were for a specific group of people, but it's also starting to help all people. It's starting to help all trans people. It's starting to help all queer people. And they're like, wait a minute.
Not too much.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Not too much. So it was done for like a specific group of people, and it's starting to benefit the entire LGBTQ community. And I think that agenda, again, is like, no. This is not what we thought it was going to be. And that's why I said we need all our allies. We need everybody that is white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian. Like, we need y'all on board, because all of these laws that are being stripped from us are being stripped from certain groups of people. And as soon as y'all allow that to happen, they will come for every single thing you got as well. So the longer you guys stay to the side and say, this ain't my fight because I don't know no trans people, they'd already snatch affirmative action. So again, let's just understand that they are coming for a specific right, because they're scared that they're losing all the power that they've worked so hard
from
to
left and right. They like, y'all.
Hey, minorities got to stick together no matter the race, because like you just said,
we need all the allies. We need y'all.
Yeah, they making us think it's one thing, and it's really not.
They just using us at this point as a, yeah.
Those are some good points, and I love how you broke down the just lyrics things. Nobody's really said that point. Well, I think we had everything we had to cover.
Yeah.
Today, you know what I'm saying?
I thought I wasn't going to survive this. This is the hot
That should
seat.
relax down. No, you did great. Because like one thing we will say is like, we realize we really not that gay. Like, we gay, but like, we ain't that gay.
I say that all the
being up here, we be learning so much.
Listen.
And I respect that people know a little bit more than I do, but it makes me want to know more about our community, and about being a lesbian and a dominant woman and all that good stuff, because it's more than just liking pussy. And strapping and all
that's
that.
majority.
That's a good part of it, but I'm just learning like, damn, this shit deeper than just strapping a bit.
And they think that we got the answers, or like we know it just by being gay. And it's like, even that's why I'm asking you, like, explain this. You know what I'm saying? Or what's your perspective? Because that shit matters. And
all of our perspectives matter.
And it'd be
but
so
if we could
many
collectively come, because I've learned a lot just sitting here with you guys, even just asking questions and getting me to think about some of these things is important. And sharing it on a platform like this is important. And just bringing us together, because when it's time to vote and when it's time to make those things count, we have to make sure that we are standing there. And when I have a platform like Step Model Project with 8,000 plus people, like, use me, goddammit. I want to spread the word that we can come together. You know what I mean? So when we create those hubs like that, y'all are doing the same thing. And start to influence your people to make sure that we're out here voting and we're taking this stuff seriously, because they snatching our rights from us left and right.
They really are. While we sitting up here on Instagram scrolling, being in La La Land and worried about this girl who lied about getting kidnapped, they over here signing bills left and right.
That sounds juicy though.
That one about that kidnapping right there. Girl,
that shit
we gonna need
juicy.
about 45 more minutes on that girl, because she had us distracted, man. Woo.
Listen, Linda.
Done passed and that's
listen, Linda.
I was worried about where the fuck she at. And
I
telling the truth.
I ain't see the Shade Room post so much about
one for real. Person. They had us really invested.
That's a movie.
Into that.
That is a whole movie.
Somebody probably right now gonna be on Tubi. Shout out to Tubi.
AI writing.
Right.
Look.
I did.
AI writing that motherfucker.
I used AI to write a story about that shit. I did.
But even keep us in tune and let us know what we can help with, even as far as voting and stuff, and helping educate our community, because we want to use our platform for stuff like that as well. Like as much as we are like entertaining stuff, our whole goal is to bring education and entertainment to the community, you know, so we really appreciate.
We trying to grow the fuck up.
All right,
we had enough fun out here. It's time to really get to it as the most influential.
Let's change the world one vote at a time.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, well, that's the No Homo Show. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment. Check out the Step Model Project. We out of here.
Let's go.
Peace. Whole lot of gay shit. Whole lot of gay. I like that.
Boss Britt. We certified. And DJ eXeL.